Welcome to week 5 of the CEO Lunch and Learn series. Today, we're going to talk about some CEO conversations about what happens when the titles come off. I'm Bernadette L. Harris, business strategist and retreat host, and we are going to have a conversation about telling the truth, right? Just straight up telling the truth. As business owners, we all have brands, right? We have a brand and we have a persona, an image, all of these things to uphold on social media. It's always positive, positive, positive. We're doing this, we're doing that. But at some point, we have to have a space or a place where we can take off the mask and really do some real work in our businesses. I've had so many consultations, sometimes just DMs on Facebook from business owners just sharing what's really going on. I know it looks like I have it all together, but I don't. And just being vulnerable, being able to be vulnerable like that, positions you for something greater. So let's jump into our takeaways. The first takeaway that I want to talk about is that safe spaces spark breakthroughs. When you have a space where you can be honest, where you can tell the truth, where you can be vulnerable, you are positioning yourselves for a breakthrough. Again, I love that I get to coach. I love that I get to work with entrepreneurs in my retreats because they are always opportunities to create that safe space for CEOs and to help them work through those breakthroughs. So just imagine what that would look like for your business. And so I'm a little silly sometimes, but I think about it personally, what a safe space looks like for me personally, not even thinking about it from a business perspective. So I want to give a personal example so that it will reach more people. But I think about like what it feels like when I'm out all day and I finally come back home and I walk through the door. I am looking forward to the first thing I want to take off is the bra. I'm just be honest, right? That's the most restrictive and most uncomfortable article of clothing in the world for me. And so that's the first thing. I might not even make it past my dining room before it's off, or at least it's unclassed, right? And just what allows me to do that's because I'm in my home, I'm in a safe space to be able to do that. And so think about what safe spaces look like for you in your business and what kind of breakthroughs you can have if you actually had those safe spaces. The second takeaway is vulnerability is strategic. Being able to be vulnerable, having a space or a place or a person that you can be vulnerable with is strategic because it allows you to kind of set those pretenses aside and deal with what is real. And then the last takeaway is your story is your strength. In the story that you tell, you will be surprised that when you share your story, how many people you help. I have worked with so many small businesses or business owners who were protective of their stories, and I get that, I do. But I often challenge them to think, who can you help with your story? Who can you help by being vulnerable and saying, yeah, me too. I haven't always had it together. And so understanding that your story is your strength. So let's talk about some reflection items. When was the last time you shared what you were really feeling in your business? When did that happen? Right? Think about that. And then what are you tired of hiding? As business owners, we kind of have to seemingly have it all together. But what is it in your business that you're really tired of hiding and you wish you had that safe space to be able to share it with someone? And you don't have to share that with anybody else. You can write that in your journal. And what would shift if you let yourself be seen more fully? So give these questions some thought, and I hope that they shift you into a new place in your business. Once again, I would love to invite you to our retreat. This is also a place where we have a safe space for you to take the mask off and really um, work through whatever it is that you're going through. So, September 18th to the 22nd, 2025, here in Mérida, Mexico. 5 days of strategy, rest, and connection. We got a beach day planned, a welcome dinner in my home, and I can throw down. So I'll be preparing that dinner and so much more. So if you are interested, grab your seat before they're all gone at the CEO Wellness Retreat.com. And I will see you next week.